everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Happy Deepavali if you're actually celebrating. Today it's Saturday, and what I want to talk about today is a little bit about sales and psychology. And as you can see at the bottom, as you can see the name, what I put there is people do not buy things. People buy opportunities when it comes to communication, when it comes to sales, when it comes to psychology, right? So people do not buy things. People, they buy solutions. People, they buy opportunities. So it's true, right? So if you think about it, people don't buy cars. They don't buy office equipment. They don't buy electronic gadgets. They don't even buy ideas. They buy opportunities. They buy solutions. They buy lifestyle. And when it comes to opportunities, they buy special discounts. They buy long-term financing. I don't know. They buy bonus products. They buy simple and flexible payment terms. So let's say if you have a product or a service that you are marketing on or selling, when you package, right? When you package all the opportunities you've created, right, to sell a product or a service, when you package it, this is called, what is this called? This is called an offer, right? So for me, with my experience, the key to selling and marketing any product or service is to create an irresistible offer that your prospects cannot refuse. So it doesn't matter if it's a product or a service. So this is the real challenge at the end of the day when it comes to sales or marketing, right? Because your challenge is to create an offer that it is so irresistible that your prospect will say, I am so stupid if I don't get it, right? So this is what ideally you would like to create. And this is the real challenge. The real challenge is to create an offer, to package your product and create that offer that it is so irresistible that your prospect will say, I will be a fool if I say no to this opportunity, right? So let me have a sip. So before you learn how to create an irresistible offer, I suggest that it's important for everybody, for us, for you, if you are watching this video, to understand why people respond to offers. And once you understand and once you know this formula, it is easier to create an offer that is so compelling that it will be difficult for your prospects to say no. Right? And here there is a conversation. There is a risk-reward conversation that takes place in the mind of a prospect when considering your offer. So put your feet into your prospect's shoes. We all buy things, right? So try to think now as a buyer, as an end user, as somebody who is considering buying a product or a service, and ask yourself this question, right? Is the promised reward greater than the required risk? If it is, the prospect will usually buy. If not, they will not. And let me break down this principle further and explain you that people respond to offers based on two factors. The perceived value of the offer, in other words, what you get, and number two, the risk involved with the offer, in other words, what you give. So basically, if I'm going to buy this cup of coffee, right, what do I get? I get a nice cup of coffee in the coffee shop, right, in a nice environment with music, with Wi-Fi, with books I can read. And what do I have to give? I don't know. I have to give $5. So the value is what I get, and the risk is what I have to give, right? So if the perceived value goes up and risk stays the same, your response rate will increase. If risk goes up, right, if money, let's say, goes up and your value goes down or stays the same, your response rate will go down. But imagine, right, imagine for a moment, if your perceived value went up and your risk went down, what will happen to your response rate? It will skyrocket, because you are increasing the value, you are increasing the offer, you are increasing what you're giving to customers in terms of quantity or quality, but the price stays the same. So what will probably happen to your offer? What will happen to your response rate? It would skyrocket. And reverse, right? If the value goes down, right? If the value of this coffee stays the same or goes down, and the price goes up, the risk goes up as a consumer, right? The risk, the money I have to pay, what will happen to the response rate? It will go down. And what you want to do when you create an offer, as a marketing person, as a salesperson, as a recruiter as well, right? This theory applies to everything. When you're recruiting people, when you are an entrepreneur selling a product, when you're a leader, a manager, managing people, yeah, you have to put these contents right into your application. What you want to do, you want to increase your value and lower your risk. So to do that, we need to know, we need to understand what's inside the components of perceived value and risk. Okay, so it's value and risk, risk and value. So as I've already mentioned before, perceived value is defined as you get from the offer, and risk is what you have to give to receive the benefits of the offer. Again, the trick here is to increase your perceived value and decrease the risk to create an irresistible offer. So high value, lower risk. Lower risk does not mean cheap. Again, I repeat, lower risk does not mean cheap. Because at the end of the day, the value, it is in your prospect's brain. So let's look at several elements that will increase the value of the offer and several elements that will decrease the risk you offer, right? So, for example, one thing that you can do is to add a free bonus when it comes to a product offering, such as an accessory or, I don't know, third-party add-ons, or, I don't know, if you have a hotel, you have a bed and breakfast property or hotel, or you're selling rooms, right? Maybe you can do, normally you do 2 nights, maybe you can give extra time to check out. So normally checkout is 12 o'clock. You can now check out at 3 with no bonus, bonus extra 3 hours for free. Or you can say stay 2 nights, you get another night for free, bonus, right? So you can give 2, or another thing that you can do is you can give 2 product or more products or services for the price of 1, right? Like 2 nights, bed and breakfast, get an additional night free. So you buy 3 nights, you pay 2. And that's smart if you have a hotel, because people, when you have a hotel, you have a bar, you have a restaurant, you have maybe a shop, people will be around, so you have the opportunities to upsell other products. Another thing that you can do is you can package multiple complementary products together with a lower overall price compared to buying the product separately. Another thing that you can do to increase value is what? Is you need to explain, you need to educate your customers, your prospects, why your product or service is unique. And you also need to explain the specific advantages over other competing products or services in the same market. You also need to explain, you also need to educate your customers, your prospects, how well is the product built, and you maybe want to give proof to how long it will last if it's a physical product. Another thing that you can do in order for you to increase value of your product is to describe in detail the specific benefits and features that will be received when using the product or service. Now, so these are my ideas, my suggestions. It depends on the product or a service that you can do to increase perceived value. Now, let me give you my suggestions on the things that you can do to decrease risk. And again, decreasing risk, decreasing the amount of the money clients pay doesn't mean you have to be cheap. Okay, so an element, a couple of elements to do to decrease risk. You can provide the strongest guarantee possible. You can provide free or low-cost extended warranty. You can do, buy before you buy offer, like a test drive or something. You can provide low, affordable payments in installments. You can provide, a pay for performance only offer. Another thing you can do, but it depends again on your product or service, you can delay payments with no added interest. You say, so I'm giving you, let's say, 12 installments. So you just have to pay the first installment now, and the second installment is not going to be today, it's not going to be tomorrow, it's not going to be, next month. The next one is going to be after 3 months' time. So you can kind of delay payments with zero interest. Okay. Now, another thing that you can do is you can give access to follow up after the sale. So, for example, if you buy my product or service, if you buy it, I will follow up with you for 3 months, once every month, to make sure things are done, kind of after sale service. Okay. If your product, maybe you have a financial service product, right? What can you do? If you have a financial service product, let's say, of course, such as, hedge fund investment, you can show proof of a return of investment, of a fast or large return on investment. Another thing that you can do, you can give actual proof of the results of the product or service using real case studies. And this is a big one. You know why? Because your customers are your biggest ambassadors. People will not listen to what you have to say, and they will listen more to what your customers say about you. Okay. Another thing that you can do is to have other people give proof of the results, obviously if they agree to it. So what you want to be doing when you're packaging your product and services to create an irresistible offer, irrespective of the service or product you provide, is to use one or a combination of those elements in your offer in order to increase your response rate. And the more elements you want to increase the benefits and increase the risk, the higher the response rate you will enjoy. All right, it's common sense. The more elements you use to increase the benefits and decrease the risk, the higher the possibility, the response rate you will enjoy. Because, value is based on the prospect's perception and not reality. Value is based on the prospect's perception and not reality. Okay. So you'll notice on the points that I mentioned above, okay, I always talk about with the words, explain, describe, educate. But these are the words I use, and that's because value is based on the prospect's perception and not reality. And the quickest, most inexpensive way to build value is to simply explain in detail, educate the customer how valuable the product or service is. And this can be done in different ways. Maybe you can explain or educate to the customers that that this product or service is performed by most qualified and professional people. And then you can show proof. And then also you can say about your product or service that is built with the highest quality parts, and you can show. You can also explain that it's created using a very meticulous and careful process, and you can explain the process. And you can also build value by describing the benefits that the prospect will receive in terms of universal benefits. And what do I mean by universal benefits? I mean those benefits that appeal, right, that appeal to every warm-blooded human being. And what are the universal? I call them universal benefits. What are some of the universal benefits? What are some of those universal benefits that appeal to every normal human being? Be beautiful, be popular, be wealthy, right? What else? Have fun, not have to work or work less and achieve, have sex, be smart, have power, have influence, be healthy, be loved, avoid pain, right? Avoid guilt. You get it, right? This is what I call universal benefits that appeal to every, or should appeal to every normal, warm-blooded human being. Now take the features of your product or service and express the result, right, of these features in terms of universal benefits, and you will have created immense value out of thin air. A few years ago, it was a product called Thigh Master. You know your Thigh Master. And the Thigh Master, this product was one of the hottest selling products ever sold through an education infomercial. And it was promoted by a lady, I think, called Susan Somers, who became very wealthy as a result of promoting this product. So if I remember well, the Thigh Master was a simple device, right? Was a simple device that you put between your legs and squeeze together to exercise the lower half part, the lower half part of your body. And supposedly, I don't know, I never tried the product, tighten up your buns. So according to the infomercial at the time, the Thigh Master made you more beautiful because of your tight buns. Because you were more beautiful, you will be more popular with men, or you will look better, right? It was even fun doing exercise with the Thigh Master because it was easy to do. No running, no sit-ups, no squatting, no walking. You can just lay down and watch TV, and while doing exercise with the Thigh Master, your thighs will become stronger and tighter. The Thigh Master, I remember, what increased your health and vitality and kept you in shape. In other words, with minimal work. You don't have to run out. You don't have to exercise. You would never have to worry about the embarrassing pain of being fat or out of shape and having buns that, is strong, right? And because you didn't have to spend a lot of time at the gym, you wouldn't feel guilty of not being at home when your family needed you. And because you also use it at home, you kind of exercise at home, you will not feel guilty because you're at home and doing nothing. So it gave you also the sense of achievement. So in fact, you would love it even more because of the increased time you'd now be able to spend with your family because you're exercising at home and so on. So I don't know. I didn't try the product, but did the Thigh Master actually do all these things? Probably no. I don't care, but fair play to the promoter, to the owner. But after watching the infomercial, the thousands of people that purchased that product probably thought it did. Again, this is a big one, and put in your brain. People buy because of the perceived, and this is a word, perceived value versus the actual value. So how do you decrease the risk of your offer? To reduce the risk of your offer, I suggest you that you need to address the following questions that people have in their minds when they're considering an offer, right? So what are you thinking? When you're buying something, what are you thinking? What's the first thing that you think? Price. Is the price too high for what I will receive? If it is, and according to competition, challenging to sell. Next one, guarantee. If I don't like it, can I get my money back? Warranty. If something goes wrong, how can I get help? And number 4, performance. Does it really work? Price, guarantee, warranty, performance. And price right now is the biggest one. Again, it depends on the product, what you're doing. If you're actually selling a tangible product, right? Or you're selling an intangible product. So each of these areas should be addressed when creating your offer. Your price, right? Your asking price is it's number one. Your asking price is most often the risk that people take to get the product or service you offer. And the closer you get to making your offer free or perceived as being free, the less risk you expose your prospect to, and the higher your response rate will be. There is no wonder, why the most powerful word in marketing in the world is free. I don't like the word free, but people like it, because for me, it's perceived cheap in value, cheap in, not in value, cheap in kinds of quality, right? But when you use the word free or complimentary on buy two, get one free, it reduces the risk down to zero. Who wouldn't take advantage of an offer that provides relevant benefits? Even if it didn't work, there was no risk, so there's no harm done. However, you cannot just give away your product or service for free, right? At least not forever. But you can give free samples, free demonstrations, free trials, free information. So all this reduce the risk of responding. And you can also give a perception of a lower price by selling the, monthly installment versus the entire price. Delaying payment for an extended period of time. So you buy now 12 installments, you do the first installment today to show your commitment, and the second installment will not start next month, it will start 3 months down the line. So you're giving like a grace period for 2 months. So then you're actually, and then you can say so actually if you break it down, it's not a 12-month installment, but it's a 15-month installment at the same price with no extra interest. Another thing that you could do, again, it depends on your product. You can offer a rent or lease to own option. That's another idea. You can offer, guaranteed buyback agreements. You can provide reselling rights if they can become an affiliate of your product. And another thing that you can do, and that's numerical, right? And in psychology, is display the ending numerals in a price, such as 3.99, 4,999 or something. And that's technical, but you can also reduce the perception of price simply by the way you present it. And that comes down to communication skill, that comes to psychology skills, that comes down to your negotiation skills, that comes down to influential skills, and to whatever, that's how it is. So you can also reduce the perception of price by the way you present it. So you always give an apples to oranges comparison, for example, for your price. For example, you could introduce your price by saying that this valuable system can be yours for the price of a Starbucks cappuccino. Because people like to compare. Oh, okay, I buy a Starbucks cappuccino every day. I mean, it's not that expensive, right? Or today I can drink one Starbucks cappuccino and buy that product or service. Or you can say, you can have your, your very own private airplane, right? Private jet for what you would normally pay for a used Honda Accord, per month. Right? And then what you want to do, you go down, you would go and continue, you go down to explain and justify how the simple monthly payment that you would normally pay on a Honda Accord will buy you a new airplane or will buy you miles, right? And to go even further down, you can actually reduce the price of the product or service by offering, sliding scale discounts, volume discounts, time limit discounts, seasonal discounts, discounts based on payback time, manufacturer discounts, rebates, and so on. The next one is guarantee. Your guarantee is your secret weapon to decreasing the risk in your offer as well, as well as the price. And you should always provide the strongest guarantee possible. Go out on a limb. Don't be afraid to provide a strong guarantee, because statistics are on your side. And the large minority of guarantees are actually never executed. There is enormous perception that if you provide an aggressive guarantee, that a slew of customers are going to take advantage of you. That's simply not true. Most people don't. Most people don't. Most people do not send things back when they are broke. They just say, fuck it, Most people do not ask for the money back if they're dissatisfied because they are shy or don't have time. And most people do not complain when they are frustrated, unless they are British or French, because they both like to complain, right? I'm only joking. And why is that? Because human nature is not to be destructive. Most people are passive and don't take action to resolve conflict, actually. The next one is your warranty. Your guarantees is like an insurance, right? Your guarantee is like insurance. They provide security in the case something goes wrong. So how many of you who actually been paying for insurance for years and years have actually made a claim? Statistically, if you look at numbers, very few will ever make a claim on their insurance, and the same goes on for a warranty. So like guarantees, why not provide a strong warranty? In fact, you can provide a perception of a strong warranty just by providing a phone number or physical address to call in case things go wrong. And that's very important when you're selling intangible assets like financial services. People will say, oh, this is the address, this is the office, this is the people. If something go wrong with my investment, I can always go in. Most people won't use it anyway, and even if they do, studies say that it will be used only within the first 3 months of ownership. Another thing that you can do is pay for performance, PFP. And if you really want to make your offer risk-free, you might consider a pay-for-performance offer. Pay for performance is when you give the product or service away with the agreement that the customer will pay only when they receive the benefits of your product or service. And then that depends on the product you are selling. This is the ultimate, risk-free offer, because it's also close to offering your product or service for free as possible, right? So if your product or service does not perform, you don't get your, if your product or service will not perform, you won't get your money. So, but you need to be careful, because when entering this kind of agreement, of course, you need to have the product that fits pay for performance. You should increase the price because the seller of the service, are taking all the risk. Therefore, your reward should be higher. Another thing that you can do when you market your product or service is to make your offer believable. And one of the worst mistakes overzealous direct responses marketeers make is to create offers that are so full of hype that they are not believable. Because people will think, does it really work? Or is it too good to be true? And those are all questions that are barriers to closing the sale. Because we've been taught that if an offer is too good to be true, it usually is, and it's true. And one way to offset the believability issue is to prove it. And there are several ways to prove your offer, right? But the best way is to provide customer testimonials and case studies. People believe, people believe comments from other people that have tested the product. Okay. Another thing that you can do is limited time offer. Time-sensitive offers provide deadlines. It creates a sense of urgency and the fear of loss feeling to your clients. That's why you see so many weekend sales that end on a Sunday. Okay, or if you buy this month, you get 20% off the price. The deal ends, offer ends 31st of this month. Okay, because it compels people to get out of their sofas and get down to the store, or go to the website, or pick up the phone and talk to you, or go to the website and buy the product. So, and I like it because it's always a good idea to always include the deadline with your offer. And the shorter the deadline, the higher the response, almost, right? Yeah. So, this is what you're going to be doing. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be creating irresistible offers, and you're going to be increasing the value and decreasing the risk when you create a product and you market it as service, right? So creating an irresistible offer takes time, but the rewards are great, and you need to be smart and you need to understand a little bit psychology and how people buy. And hopefully this video will help you if you're a businessman, if you're a new leader managing people, entrepreneur selling products. Because if you increase the perceived benefits and lower its risks, you will improve your response rate dramatically. Again, if you increase the perceived benefits and lower the risk, you will improve your response rate dramatically. So I'm going to give you a checklist that you can use when you create an offer. Is your guarantee as strong as possible? Is your warranty as strong as possible? Do you tie your features to the universal benefits that I explained before? Do you inject in your offer some sort of scarcity? Is the objective of your offer clear and concise? And that's a big one. People sometimes don't understand what people are selling and promoting. Does your offer have a compelling headline? Have you eliminated price as a stumbling block? Do you have a strong CTA? Have you limited your choices? Have you given the reasons why you can make the offer? And here's a final piece of advice for the day. Always make an offer. Make offers in your ads, make offers on the phone, make offers when you network with people, make offers when you service on service calls, even on your email communication. Every chance you get, make an offer. That's not a bad thing. A bad thing happens when you don't make offers. Because if you really believe in your product, if you really believe in your service, if you really believe in your company and you want to recruit people, for example, the bad thing happens when you don't make offers. Because nothing happens. So if you don't make an offer, you will never get a sale. What's the worst thing somebody can say? No. What's the best? Yes. So you're 50-50. So I suggest you start making frequent and targeted offers to your prospects and customers. Make irresistible offers and watch the sales roll in. Thank you for watching. Again, happy Diwali. Have a good weekend. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.